Dear student, welcome again. I'm Dr. Vishal Kumar Lahiri, an assistant professor at Institute of Management Studies, Banaras Hindu University. I welcome you all to the part 6, that is staffing. In the part 5, we have discussed about the organizing as a process, and in the organizing process, we have discussed the module 21 to 25, and we have covered up the concept of organizing, the process of organizing, what are the different benefits of the organizing to a company. We have thoroughly discussed about the relationship between authority, responsibility, and the accountability. We have an understanding about the delegation of the authority, what is centralization and decentralization, what will be the different factors governing the centralization and the decentralization. And lastly, in the last module of part 5, we have understood about the formal and informal type of the organization. So, part 6 will be covering up the fundamental knowledge about the staffing as a functions of the management. We have started the functions of the management, and in the very first thing we have like in the module 4th, we have discussed about the planning and decision making. This is the very first function. In the second part or the 5th part, we have discussed about the organizing, which is the second function. Now we are moving towards the third function of the management in the part 6, and part 6 will be comprised of module or the lecture 26 to 30. And in today's session, we'll be deeply understanding the module 26 or the lecture 26. So, what are the things that we are going to study in the current module? It will be, as you can see in the slide, the concept of staffing. All right. Then your different concept of the staffing, nature of staffing, process of staffing, and the importance of staffing. So before we proceed with these topics, let us understand the very basic concept of the staffing. Now, before the industrialization that took place between 17th to 18th century or late 17th century, what was the different functions that was involved? Okay, like we have discussed about the application of the management as a discipline. Okay, it was there before the industrialization. Okay, we have some traces of like the different civilizations. Okay, we have taken the example of Egyptian civilization. Okay, we have taken the example of Mahabharata and some other religious epics as well, where the practice of the management was there. Okay, however, after industrialization or many concept has been developed 18th century onwards, we have seen the management as a concept has been drastically changed, and it is more towards the business oriented. Okay, so staffing as a concept was considered, earlier it was considered as one of the function of the organizing itself. It was not a separate function. However, because of the rapid transformation or changes in the importance or the behavioral science effect, we have discussed about the neoclassical approach, where the importance was given towards the employees. Okay, understanding the needs, requirements, likes, dislikes, what are their attitude, intention, beliefs. Okay, so all these behavioral aspects become very much important after the second approach of the management. So it mandates some of the organization to focus on the employee perspective. Okay, so staffing, in the process of the staffing or the concept of the staffing, will be understanding like how the employees are recruited, how they are selected, overall training and development program of the employees. Okay, the compensation and different kind of orientation program, which become very much important for the employees. So because of the needs of the organization and their philosophy towards the employee were changing, it become very important, or it become compulsory to have a separate function of the management. Then the concept of the staffing as a totally new function of the management has emerged. Alright, so this was the concept, or you can say the history of the origination of staffing as a separate function of the management. Now moving beyond, as you can see in this slide, staffing is concerned with finding the right person for the right position at the right time. So three important aspects are there. One is right person, right position, and right time. So employees or the organization, the top level manager, they are like require the human resource, okay, or the manpower for all the activities to be performed at the different level of the organization. Okay, we also know that in the supervisory level and the middle level management, the number of employees is too much because they perform too many activities within the organization. Okay, so staffing becomes very important function because it emphasizes on recruiting or having the right person in the organization. Okay, that particular right person should be like placed into the right position. Okay, so based on the skills and the competence of the employee, like one employee could be more competent in the technical skills, one will be more towards the human and the conceptual skills. Okay, so right position is like you are placing the employee at the right place based on his or her skill set. Third one is at the right time. Right time emphasizes the time period where the employees should be hired or recruited for the completion of any activities. Okay, take one example. Suppose in a economic downturn, okay, where the economic factors is not so favorable for the companies. So in that situation, the company may be requiring a specialist person who deal with the how to manage with the economic changes or the external factor changes. Okay, because of his or her experiences with that particular situation. Now, if you are hiring an employee, like the situation happened, and you will see that immediately you need to hire a specialist for dealing with those external changes in the environment. If you are delayed in taking the decision or hiring the specialist employee, the company will be facing too much of the problem. Okay, so right time also emphasizes the your staffing process. To obtain, what is the purpose? To obtain, utilize and maintain satisfied workforce. Okay, so what is the overall objective? Staffing is the process of hiring the right person at the right position at the right time to obtain the satisfied workforce. Okay, so when like one employee is very good at conceptual skills, okay, and you are giving them all the activities of the technical skills, that particular employee will not be so much of motivated, or they will be like at very confusion related to the task performed. Okay, they will not be able to perform effectively. So overall, the satisfaction level of the employee will go down. Okay, so staffing is with respect to the holistic development of the employee. Moving beyond, we can like discuss one of the definition according to Kuhns and Ordonal. The managerial function of staffing involves manning the organizational structure. Manning the organizational structure means like you are hiring the employee within the organization. Okay, manning means like you are calling up the recruitment processes, or you are filling up the employees or the vacancy in the organization. Through proper and effective selection, appraisal, training and development of the personnel to fill the role into that particular structure. Okay, so manning the organizational structure through different processes of the staffing. We'll be discussing about the different processes. It will be like recruitment, selection, training and development, orientation, overall the maintenance of the employee. So all these are some of the processes of your staffing. Okay, so by far we have understood about the brief history about the staffing as a separate management function. Okay, because of the complexity or the diversity of the skills of the employee, because the company want to get an added advantage of skilled workforce. Okay, management separate the staffing function from the organizing function. Earlier, a recruitment process, selection process was a part of your organizing process itself. Okay, but it is separated. In the second slide, we have discussed about the concept of the management. What the staffing, how the staffing will be defined. According to one of the very prominent practitioner of the management, we have tried to explain the term staffing. Okay, now moving beyond, we'll be trying to understand what are the different natures and the characteristics of the staffing process. Very first one, staffing is a pervasive function. It means it is applicable at all levels of the management. Okay, or it is a universal process and its presence is everywhere. Okay, like it may be at all level of the management or throughout the organizational structure. One employee will be leaving the organization, so a vacant post will be there. So the management, what they need to do, they need to call up some fresh recruits to fill the position in the organization. And it will be there at all level, be it the top level management, the middle level management, or the supervisory level management. Okay, so it is a pervasive function. It is a wider concept. Like through the concept, we got an idea that management is staffing is a separate function. Okay, so we able to we can conclude that like all the employees in that particular department will be responsible for the hiring of the employee within the organization. Okay, but it is not so. All the levels of the management or all the employees within the organization, they will be included or they will be the part of your staffing process. Okay, suppose the top management require a new person or the new employee who is having more than 10 years of experiences. Okay, so they will be like going to the staffing department or the HR department that these are the qualities of the employee we need in the organization. Okay, so ultimately the top manager is also involved in the selection or the recruitment processes. Second, we can take the example at the supervisory level. Now the supervisory level, you will see that employees are working on a day-to-day basis. Routine type of the activities are performed. So it may be like some of the employees get promoted. Some of the employees are transferred from one department to another department. Some of the employees are leaving and joining the other companies. So ultimately there is a vacancy which is created in the supervisory level. Now the supervisory level will be like they will be forwarding an application to the HR department or your staffing department regarding the selection of the employees for the required vacant places. So ultimately they are also part of the staffing processes because they know what skills or what competence is required at that particular vacant place. Okay, so it is a wider concept. It is a continuous process, like all the management functions are continuously they are involved. Whenever you take a new project, okay, suppose new project is with respect to introducing a new product in the market. All right. So again, all the functions, like you will be starting with the identification of the objective. Okay. You will be organizing all the resources together, and again you will be hiring some of the skilled employees. Okay. So again, for the new project, new skill set will be required to fill up the vacant post. Okay. So it is a continuous process again. Staffing deals with the maximizing the human resources. Okay. Now in the modern management concept, okay, we have seen that employees are treated as the resource of the organization. Okay. Now it is the responsibility of the or top management or the organizational managers to fully utilize the resources. So how you will be able to fully utilize the potential of your employees? Okay, it will be by providing them with some kind of training and development program. Okay, they will be like given the role play. They will be trained as per the simulated activity. Okay, so there are different techniques we'll be discussing in the training and development module regarding how the employee can be trained for higher performances. So staffing also deals with the maximum utilization of the human resources. Next is staffing is performed by all level of manager. We've already discussed the staffing is pervasive in function, or it is a wider concept. Okay, it does not mean like the HR department will be only responsible for the staffing processes. It is with the combination of each level of the management along with the HR department, they will be like hiring the employee based on the requirement at each levels. Okay, suppose the supervisory level, at the supervisory level, few technical staff has joined the new companies. Okay, so the supervisory level manager, they will be having more understanding about what qualities they require for the new staffs. So the vacancy can be floated, a recruitment will be called up based on this particular criteria. Like the experience of the employee should be of 2 years in the technical field. Okay, so in this way we can say that all the managers are involved in the staffing process, not just the staffing department or the HR department. So with this we have discussed about the nature of the staffing. In the next we try to understand about the process of the staffing. Okay, like what are the different steps required for the like overall hiring of the new employee within the organization. So as you can see in the slide, there are largely 5 steps. One is your procurement. Okay, second is your development. Third one is your compensation. Fourth one is your integration, and fifth one is your maintenance. Very first one is the procurement. It means like you are procuring something. So whenever we are procuring in the staffing process, it will be towards the human resources or the employees of the organization. Okay, so it has sub parts as well. The very first one is the manpower planning, recruitment, selection, and placements. So all these sub activities will be leading towards the procurement of the employee. Very first one is the manpower planning. So new project being introduced, so the department or overall organization will be having an idea like how many number of employee will be hired for this particular specific project. Okay, like you want to like increase the sales of the company, increase the sales of your product. Okay, so for that you need more number of salesperson. So planning the manpower is with respect to the objective of the organization. Okay, here the objective is to increase the sales. increase of sales can be achieved by recruiting more number of sales personnel. Okay, so you have an idea. Suppose you need to hire 50 salesperson in an organization. Okay, so this is the planning process. Now again, the next step will be the recruitment. Recruitment means like sharing the advertisement with the public. You given a advertisement in the newspaper, in your website, in your employment exchanges. There are different sources of the recruitment. We'll be discussing the different sources as well. So this process will be called up recruitment, like calling up the candidate for filling up the vacancy in the organization. It is a recruitment process. Selection. So for 50 candidates, suppose 500 employees has given the or filled up the form for the recruitment process. In the recruitment process, the company can go for some criteria like the experience, some educational qualification. Okay, and based on that, the company observed that 500 applications they have got. Next will be the selection process. Now, the company require only 50 sales personnel, not 500. But 500 has been, 500 candidate has filled the form. Now, what the company will be doing? The company will be selecting only 50 out of 500 based on some interview methods, based on some preliminary screening basis. Okay, so selection is also called as a negative process. Okay, it means you are selecting only few employee out of many and you are rejecting the majority. We have rejected 90% of the candidate. That's why it is called the negative process, and we have selected only 10%, as you can see in this example. So selection will be the third step in the procurement, and last one will be the placement. Placement is with respect to placing the employee towards their respective jobs. Okay, like 50 employees are hired or the 50 sales personnel are hired. They will be placed in the marketing team or the sales team. They will be given specific location for like selling up the product of the company, and ultimately it will increase your sales. Okay, so very first step is the procurement. Procurement is with respect to the planning of the manpower, recruitment, selection, and their placements as well. Second step is the development. Development is with respect to like how you are giving the training and development program for the employee. So it is with respect to increasing the skills of the employee. The training and development program can be used to increase or to enhance the efficiency of the employee. So training and development program. Okay. Now the staffing process, there will be so many techniques, like training can be provided with respect to some internal training development program or the external training and development program. Okay, it may be like you are calling some expert who will be giving some kind of seminar or the lectures or some technical session, so that they will be having the awareness about what the activities they need to perform. External could be like you are sending your employee towards some workshop, okay, or some training programs conducted outside. So ultimately these things will be enhancing the skills of the employee. So it is a part of your staffing process. Third one is your compensation, fair payment. Okay, fair payment is like how many employees you have hired. The 50 employees which are hired, they should be given the incentive, rewards, compensation based on the performance that they have done. Okay, like in a company there could be a review process. Okay, like in the management, what they do at the end of the project, they will be reviewing the performance of the employees. If the company feels that few employees have overperformed, okay, out of the 50 employees they have hired, 20 employees they achieved very good number of the sales. So the company, what they will be doing, they will be like providing some kind of rewards or the incentive along with the basic salary structure. Okay, so this is the third step in the staffing. Integration is with respect to like human relations or interpersonal relationship. Okay, like you are integrating the employee, or you are giving the opportunity to of the employee for taking some initiative within the organization. Initiative means like the employees are given the opportunity to take some decisions for the organizations. Okay, so ultimately it will enhance the sense of belongingness of the employee. Okay, and last one is the maintenance. Maintenance, it means like every employee will be they will be objective of their employee could be both economical and a non-economical factor. Okay, economical factor is with respect to the compensation that we have already discussed, the fair wages, the reward system, the incentive based on the higher performances. Okay, so these will be these factors are very much crucial at the same time, along with the maintenance factor. Maintenance is with respect to the physical and mental health of the employee or and their families as well. So what the companies are providing in terms of insurance, okay, some mental amenities like whether there is canteen in the company premises or not, how the food are being served in that particular premises. Okay, overall any kind of school or any hospitals are there or not for the family members and for the children of the employees. Okay, so these factors are also very much important in the overall staffing process. So in this slide, we have thoroughly discussed about the process of the staffing that starts with the your procurement towards the development, fair compensation, sense of belongingness of the employee, and overall physical and mental health of the employees and their family members. In the next slide, we will be quickly discussing about the importance of the staffing. Now, importance of the staffing, we have like an idea about what the benefit it will be for the employees and for the organization. Very first one is filling jobs with competent personnel. Now, the personnel here signifies your employees. Alright, personnel means employees. So, a well-developed staffing process will be helpful for the companies in supplying some key or skilled personnel or the skilled employees in the organization. Better performances. Now, the staffing process we have seen, it is oriented towards like training and development program as well. Now, the training and development program will be helpful for the superior performance of the employees, and ultimately it will enhance the performance of the organization as well. So everything is interrelated. Growth and survival of the organization. The more and more skilled employee will be hired, and at the same time retaining the skilled employees is also very challenging task for the companies nowadays. So that's why the training and development program or recruitment process, the selection process become very costly. Okay, so if the employee leaves the job, it is very high cost for the companies. So that's why if the employees are retained and they feel that they are the part of the organization, like the development program we have seen, okay, in the last step we have discussed about the maintenance. If the employee feel that everything is available at the company premises, the good education for their children, okay, health and insurance for their like parents and the families, okay, amenities and entertainment facilities. So the employees will be retained into that particular premise. Again, the fourth point is optimum utilization of human resources. Like it is the skill of the manager that how they are effectively using the human resources. Okay, like employee could be like given some kind of initiative work. Okay, like our decision making process they are involved with. So ultimately it will be boosting the morale of the employee, and overall they will be like oriented towards the organization in taking key decisions. Okay, so in this way overall the efficiency of the employee will be enhanced. Next is improve morale and job satisfaction. So the staffing process is also oriented towards the compensation, that is the fair wage payment, maintenance, and integration process that we have already discussed in the previous slides. So the output part will be job satisfaction of the employees and high morale of the employee. Okay, so these are some of the essential significance of your staffing process. The last thing we'll be discussing about the need of the staffing. Why the management or the company is like investing so much of money and time for the staffing processes. There are certain reasons for it. Very first one is growing organizational size. It means the more and more the complexity of the operation in the organization, okay, or the size of the operation of the organization is not towards only one location, but in other countries as well. This will become very challenging for the organization to enhance the growth and the performances. It will be totally dependent on the skills of the employee. Okay, so with the proper staffing technique, the management or the company can deal with the growing size of the organization as well. Because it is very easy for the small organization to manage the human resources. But the moment it grows, the proper staffing technique should be implemented for the proper balance or the development of the employees. Next is the development of the technology. We have seen in the last 5 to 10 years, there has been a rapid transformation in the technology. The use of the artificial intelligence and the digital technologies is creating too much of competitive situation in the market. So with that, we need some expert employees who are very good at managing the data sciences. Okay, so you will see that many universities are also like introducing new course on data management sciences. Okay, because it is the need of the industry, like how the employees are able to use the digital technology for the increased efficiency of the organization. So this is the third one, need for the skilled manpower. With the rapid change in the external factor, you need to have more updated human resource power for meeting out the day-to-day challenges. Okay, for that also it is very important. A trade union, you will see that implementation of the staffing process become very important because the role of the trade union becomes very dominant. Okay, so proper procurement, from the proper procurement toward the your compensation, development and initiative, all the process should be done very efficiently. Otherwise, the trade union will be there who can oppose overall the staffing process or any kind of recruitment process. Okay, so need of the staffing will be there in that situation. Human relation movement. We have seen in the from neoclassical approach, the approach towards the employee has significantly changed, and this led towards the understanding the importance of the human behavior or the attitude, behavior, likes and dislikes of the employee. Cost of hiring, it means a proper mechanism should be there. The employee should feel that whatever the policies and the instructions or guidelines are there, it is pro-employee and not pro-management. Because the cost of hiring the new employee is too much. because you need to float the application, you need to conduct the selection process, you need to call up some expert who will be in the panel interview. Okay, you need to place the employee, at the same time provide training and development. Imagine after so many activity, the employees leaving the job after 2 months or the 3 months. What will happen? It will ultimately increase the cost of the organization. So proper staffing process will be a motivating factor for the employee, and they will be retained in the organization. Okay, so with this, in this particular module, we have thoroughly discussed about the concept of the staffing. We have an idea about the characteristics and the features of the staffing. We got to know about the process of the staffing. And lastly, we discussed about the need of the staffing for the management. Okay, in the upcoming module, we'll be discussing about the principles of the staffing, the meaning of recruitment, selection, and your compensation. Okay, so I leave you with the suggested books. You can go through it to get a deep understanding about the staffing process. That's all for this session. We'll be meeting again. Thank you.